All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live and we got some news. Let me make sure everything's good here. Looks like everything's good. This is kind of like this is an emergency chat. Want to make sure that if you guys have questions, I'll answer them for you. And let me make sure also that I let my folks on Telegram know that we are live. All right. All right, we are live, folks. If you have questions, come on in. All right. 23 folks in here. Yep, sacrifice phase gun. Everybody's freaking out. Here's going to be my message. My message to the masses is relax. Completely relax. You got all the time in the world. You don't have to worry about it. Yeah, you have, Richard said you have until January 10th to get that multiplier, right? So for every dollar that you sacrifice, you're going to get 10,000 PLSX points. Okay. And that bonus multiplier will not go away until January 10th. I'm telling everybody January 9th, just to make sure that people don't do stupid things. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to post this in the chat. I'm going to tell you guys how to sacrifice. I'm going to answer all your questions. And I will also tell you, you guys want to join the stream, you can join the stream and you can ask the questions. You can turn your video on or not. I don't care. But let me go to my YouTube channel and let me pull this up. And I'm going to post this link in the YouTube chat. I'm going to pin it. So that way, if you guys want to ask questions, doesn't matter who, you guys can ask questions. And we'll just have a grand old time today. Just a grand old time. All right, let me go here, go live. There it is. All right, hold on, guys. Almost there. Turn this down. All right, let me post this in chat. Boom. Can I pin this? All right, link to join. And pin message. All right, so if you want to join this, the link to join is pinned to the top. Okay, and now I'm going to start answering your questions here. All right. Let me get in here the right way. All right. What's the first question that we can ask or answer? All right. We'll go to the top. Sacrifice phase has begun, folks. So everybody's running around with the chicken with their head cut off. We're good. Just relax. We got time. We're fine. Breathe. You might be at work. You might be driving home. I'm going to give you guys the details. All right. So if you have any ERC20 tokens or Ethereum, you can sacrifice to an address that Richard provided on his Twitter. And if you check out my Telegram group, the Rags to Riches Telegram group, and I will put that in the description, I've got a simple Word document that I've published to the web that I will update as things move along. I will say this: do not take the Word document that I publish as 100% truth. Always verify everything. I'm always capable of a typo. I am human. I'm a ginger, but I am human. So I've got this running Word document that you guys can reference at any time. Just kind of bookmark it. All right. So the other part to this, so any ERC20 token, what's that mean? Anything that lives on the Ethereum network. So for example, you can sacrifice your HEX. You can sacrifice Ethereum. You can sacrifice all sorts. Just look up ERC20s. If you have some random weird ass meme coin, I would be very careful about sacrificing that. All right. What I would do, and let me just verify this before I tell you guys. Pulse.info. I think Richard had said at one point, he said you could go to pulse.info and connect your wallet. Once you connect your wallet, you can see a list of coins that you can sacrifice. Don't use that website to sacrifice. Do not use that website to sacrifice. It's just been said that potentially those might be the coins that you can. Wait until you get official word. Wait until the PulseX website, the user interface comes up so you can actually sacrifice. If you want to sacrifice early, you can. And you're just going to send from a wallet that you own the keys to. Do not sacrifice from an exchange. You're going to send your ERC20s. You're going to send those to the addresses that were provided by Richard. Okay. 3 billion sacrificed already. That's pretty legit. I made a tweet. I said, listen, folks, we might have more. Well, and here's the thing too. So we might have more sacrifice for PulseX than we do Pulse Chain. And especially now, the sacrifice period is like 45 days long. Please show us how to sacrifice, pretty please. Pull up your MetaMask wallet, pull up your Trust wallet, whatever the case may be. If it's an ERC20, that's why we tell you to keep it simple. Maybe buy HEX, and you can send it off to the address that was provided by Richard on his Twitter. Okay. All right. Yeah. Future's cheap now. We're going to pull him in. What's up, brother?
What's going on, guy? What's going on?
Not much, man. You look like you're in a freaking horror movie, dude.
Hey, man.
Listen. I know that light.
At nighttime, I use red light. I have red lights.
All right. So you just sacrificed. So tell us about your experience.
So on my Twitter, I put out, I saw this is the pre-sacrifice right now. It's a pre-sacrifice. And to give everybody some reference, I've been saying for a while, buy HEX and sacrifice HEX. We're all HEX skins. We'll pump our own bags. And like what happened with the Pulse sacrifice, none of it's moved, and you just basically removed from supply. So if you're like me and you've got a ton of HEX, I bought more HEX and then sacrificed it. So, I mean, I plan on sacrificing a couple 100,000 HEX, to be perfectly honest. I mean, I'm very stoked on PulseX. I loved Rag's walkthrough he did yesterday. That was awesome. So I just thought, but what I'm planning on doing, my strategy is I've got a large amount of HEX, a pretty good sum. I mean, I'm not some mega whale. I'm not going to do a billion, but I mean, I'm going to do a pretty good sum. We're going to do 50, 100 grand, depending on what happens to the price of HEX now. So right now, what I've got is value just over $50,000. I just sacrificed 15,000. We pumped when he made that announcement, and this is the pre-sacrifice. When he made that announcement, you saw, I mean, the HEX price, a bunch of large bear whales started dumping, and we saw a bunch of stuff just dumped immediately, and then it dropped down to almost 30 cents. Well, that's fine. When he made the announcement, it pumped up to like, what are we, 33, 34 cents? I mean, it went a lot.
It went up to 35 cents, yeah.
35. So, I mean, I saw it was like 35 or 34 and a half, and I sacrificed about 15,000 HEX. So around, I don't know, like, what is that, 5 grand worth? I think it was $5,000 worth at the time, or just over 5,000. I sent it to the Ethereum sacrifice address. I think it ends in CB8 or whatever. And then I'm hoping that as people realize and they go, wow, because this is still the pre-sacrifice. I mean, really, there's the address. I see Sandy B just put it up there, the DC8. That looks like the address right there. So I'm hoping, and we saw this with Pulse. I think day 2 was when HEX had the largest pump. It really started pumping. I'm hoping, because we have a lot of time, the rate doesn't go down until the
January 10th.
January. Yeah. And I think he wanted to get in there for people that could do some end of the year tax stuff. I think that's why people were really pushing for it. I mean, I don't really care either way. I'm getting.
Yeah. So what he's doing, he's allowing people to sacrifice now for tax purposes before the end of the year. That's why we opened it up early. That's probably why.
That makes perfect sense. But I mean, I'm hoping as more people realize it, and as the official pulsex.com site comes up and the instructions, because I've had people reaching out to me and they're confused. And I actually, sadly, remember that thing I tweeted, the scam thing? Sadly, a buddy, he had already sent 4,000 HEX to it. He got scammed.
Yeah.
And that's why I was like, oh my gosh, somebody brought it to my attention. And I was like, man, you guys, please don't get scammed. But
Make
now,
sure that you're using. Make sure. Don't even guys. Don't even trust me. All right. Trust Richard. Trust Richard Hart's Twitter, or you
yeah.
can trust PulseX.com. The
Mm-hmm.
website's going to be more up to date.
And
Richard is basically.
PulseX.com isn't up yet.
It's not up.
But
It's
this is
yeah.
the pre. So if you want to just wait,
Right.
you're not going to get penalized. You don't get anything extra. Just get it out there now. There's no rush here. We got plenty of time. The rate doesn't go up. Everybody's the same because these pools and stuff, and I'd be careful with those too. They're doing these pools. Be very careful because then who's got what, because they're trying to get the bonus. They're trying to get the top tier thing. I'd be very careful there as well. But there's no rush for everybody. I would just get yourself a little hex. You have till the 10th. The rate's all going to be the same, 10,000 per $1, and just chill. And hopefully hex will go over $1. Hopefully it goes to $5. So my 170,000 hex becomes worth $170,000, and I'll get that much more PulseX.
Let's answer some questions here. We'll pop them up. Hey, Rags of Riches, the sacrifice is live, but waiting for the actual websites to be updated. Yes, this is like a pre-launch. We are waiting for the websites to be updated, and everybody can stay cool, calm, and collected. The question here is, I'm flipping excited, anxious, etc., but please, how do I do this? When the time comes, whether it's now or whether it's at some point in the future, if you do it before January 9th or before rather, you're going to get a multiplier of PLSX coins of 10,000 per every dollar that you sacrifice. And it's actually PLSX points. If you need clarification on what PLSX points means, you can reach out to me privately and I'll give you a better explanation there. Okay, let's take a look.
Yeah, don't get scammed in all the confusion, guys and gals.
Guys, pump the brakes. If you're in question about something, pump the brakes and verify. You've got time. Don't rush. It's okay. Fractal Hacks says, "Can we sack BNB to the address Richard provided?" Yes,
that's an ERC20, right?
Yeah, BNB's on the Binance Smart Chain, and you can use the address that ends in Delta Delta Charlie 8, which Richard provided. And those instructions are there. He says that you can sacrifice.
Wait, isn't BNB an ERC20 token?
It forked. Yeah, Binance Smart Chain forked from Ethereum.
But it's not the BNB is the actual BNB token.
Yeah, but it's on the Binance Smart Chain.
Is it?
And yep, I'm pretty sure. Well, either way, it's going to work because he does cover Binance Smart Chain on there.
Okay, but I know like the BNB token. You can check. You can go into like the basic info. I'm on CoinPaprika right now, and you can go down and look at it. And I think what you're saying is right. I look at BNB right now, and if the proof type is Byzantine fault tolerant, so that is not a ERC20. So
yeah,
like in that case, like I thought it was an ERC20. Good thing I didn't send it to an ERC20 because I would have been screwed.
No, I don't think you would have, because he specifically says.
Oh, does he?
He says that you can sacrifice on the Binance Smart Chain to the ERC20 address.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but again, if you guys have any questions about it, pump the brakes. Okay. Okay. And here's another thing: if you see any address on the internet that isn't from Richard Hart or the website, even if it's somebody you think you trust or you think scammers are very smart. They'll replicate my username. They'll replicate Sandy B's username. Trust, but verify every single time, okay? Because you got time.
I mean, Richard Hart all the time. You see the live streams, they repop them, and they just put a scam on the outline like he just talked about with the Meet Kevin thing. Yeah. Exactly what they do. And it's horrible watching these people get scammed.
Yeah. Here's another thing. Meme coins, let's wait to see which coins are the coins that Richard prefers that we use. That's going to be updated on the PulseX website here in the next couple days, probably. So if you have a weird, obscure, freaking, I don't know, underwater basket weaving coin, don't sacrifice that yet. Just wait to see if that's going to be acceptable. And if not, just switch it for something else that is.
So Rags, no financial advice. No financial advice. But seriously, ladies and gentlemen, in my opinion, no financial advice. What I'm personally doing is whatever you got, convert it to hex and then sacrifice the hex. We're all hexicans. Why not? It might cost you a tiny fee. Use like a change now, cost you a couple percent.
Look at
That's
this, dude. Look at that. Is Richard Hart going to accept the $3 billion worth of HOC shitcoin?
and what was his response? Hell no.
All right. I'm going through looking for questions. If you guys have questions, field them in here. Okay. All right. So essentially, that's what we're looking at right now. If you're just hopping on, Richard Hart announced that the sacrifice is live right now. He gave us a couple addresses to be able to sacrifice to.
And just so you know, the Staker app is back up. It actually went down when he made that announcement. I think it
They
crashed.
broke it.
They
Yeah.
broke it. Yeah. So it's back
So
up though.
sacrifice is live. If you want to, and this is all going to be up to you. Okay, you can sacrifice starting right now to the addresses provided. You can sacrifice any of your ERC20 tokens to the Ethereum address that he provided in his tweet. All right. You have until January. He said January 10th. I'm telling people January 9th so they don't do stupid things. You have until January 9th to get the most multiplier, which is for every dollar that you sacrifice, you're going to get 10,000 PLSX points. All right. And then after that time frame, and every day after January 10th, actually, you're going to see a 5% decrease in the amount of PLSX points that you will receive for your $1. Okay.
It's a lot more lenient than they had with the Pulse. Like he said in the stream the other day, I mean, basically you had the first 3 days, then every day after that went up at 5%. And I mean, there's people that are still sacrificing and they're literally they're paying like 20, what is it, 22 or 24 cents per pulse right now?
Yeah. Now, here's the thing, too, folks. We'll say this again. I'll probably say it 9 more times. Do not send your sacrifice from a centralized exchange.
Mm-hmm.
It's very important.
Not your
Don't send
keys,
it
not your
from
crypto.
don't send it from GDAX. Don't send it from Robinhood. Don't send it from Binance. Don't send it from Coinbase. You have to have a wallet such as MetaMask that you own the keys to, or Trust Wallet. The seed phrases you own, nobody else has access to it.
The same thing is going to apply when the snapshot happens for the Pulse. If you want a copy of your ERC20 tokens, if you have them on Celsius or you have it on Coinbase or somewhere where you don't have the keys, you're not going to get copies of those because they're not going to be supporting it. They've just been basically denying it. Just give everybody a heads up. My personal strategy, I own a lot of Cell token. The only ERC20 I really own besides HEX. I plan on, hopefully it's announced when that snapshot happens, I plan on moving it to my MetaMask and getting a free copy of it on the Pulse. My plan.
Yeah, I agree. And Brandon, do you think the pump is a go with sacrifice going live early, i.e., whale manipulations, etc.? So here's the thing: there's always going to be whale manipulations. I've always liked this method personally, and you guys can latch onto this if you're worried about it. If you have a chunk of change, what you could do is you could just split that chunk of change up over the next 5 days if you wanted. If you're not going to get chopped up by gas fees, and you can just kind of stagger into the market. So that way, if it goes up, you're going to get a piece of that. If it goes down, you're going to get a piece of that, but it's going to average out. All right. And you don't have to
Scale in,
worry about these
scale
dumb
out.
games. Say what?
Scale in, scale out. Like we just talked about, that's exactly what I did. I just sacrificed 15,000 hex at a price of over 34 cents. What are we now? We're just over 32. We've come in a little bit.
Right.
Tomorrow it could be at 30. I'll do another 10 or 15,000 hex and I'll keep doing it. I got a couple 100,000 here I want to sacrifice. So you can't know. You have to plan for not knowing. I do the same thing with equities or anything else you invest in. You scale in and scale out. And I'll do it over a few weeks. And that's what Brandon's saying here.
Yeah. And you don't want the stress. I don't do this anymore for the stress, guys. And that's one way I can mitigate stress personally. Now, what could possibly happen? Again, we're not prophets, but these are possibilities. Hex could pump hard. The new candle hits here in about 17 minutes, the new daily candle. I would imagine, based on the news and based on people waking up around the world, we might see green. Now we might see red. There might be other plans here that people that have a lot bigger bags than we do, they could dump the price on us. So this is the part that you got to kind of make up for yourself. We can't tell you what to do. All right. This is survival of the fittest. This is kind of where it comes down to that. You got to make the best decisions for you, for your wallet. I can't make those decisions for you.
Well,
So
and
just
ask yourself too. Do a mental exercise. Ask yourself. You scale in, scale out. What would you think if the price, say you have Hex and it went down to 20 cents? Well, how would you feel there? Or how would you feel if it went to $1? Think of the different scenarios and maybe how that would affect your psyche. If you'd feel a FOMO or, you know.
Yep. And so yeah, SAC HEX, you'll pump the price by buying and remove them from market. Okay.
Amen. Exactly what I'm doing.
I told my folks this when people say sacrifice your HEX, sacrifice your HEX, sacrifice your HEX. I've got positions in HEX that I've held for a long time that I'm not willing to let go because I got such a good entry. All right, so if you have some dry powder, if you can play that game, you just buy HEX that same day, and within 5 or 10 minutes, you sacrifice that out. You might not want to sell your stacks that you're sitting pretty on, or you
Yeah.
might. It just depends. You just got to think about all these little angles here. All right.
And that's what I mean. I'm not sacrificing. I don't keep any liquid Hex. I mean, I'm staked. I'm 100% staked at all times. I
Yeah.
mean, if you understand the game theory, especially with encapsulated stakes, whatnot, I mean, you pretty much. I wish I'd done everything 3650 up to 5555. But I mean, I
Yeah.
have it staggered out here over the next, every years because I was one of the fortunate guys that got in early and, you know, I was blessed.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't. I'm not. I mean, that stuff there. I still have a plan for everything. It's staked out. I went and bought additional Hex because I mean, I'm a multimillionaire on 3 different chains. So
Mhm.
Hex is just one thing going on. So I don't put all my eggs in one basket, and so that's important. I think. I mean, you have to look at opportunity when it becomes available.
Yeah. Let's take a look and let's kind of see. Let's see what it's doing right now. All right.
What is this one by Anna and John? My boner has a boner.
So yeah, I mean, so we saw price pump up pretty fast. We knew it was going to happen once the news hit. There's a lot of people just like freaking out, FOMOing. Went up to almost 35 cents. Now,
Yeah.
this candle right here, we're going to get a new daily candle in about 15 minutes. A lot of people trade that new daily candle, but
Oh
this is
man.
a very bullish candle, especially if we go down to the 4-hour chart. We kind of take a look for the
Brandon's
past.
the expert. I'm the worst trader you guys ever met. Brandon's the pro here.
If you look here, we finally broke this level of resistance that we had touched probably 1, 2, 3 times, and we're pushing up above it now. So we're kind of in a little bit of uncharted territory. We've got a lot to go before all-time high. We have very, very high volume here. So this is just textbook breakout type stuff. So, but again, you can look at the textbooks, you can look at what charts have done in the past, but you just never know what other people who have bigger bags have up their sleeve here. You just don't ever know. So just be very cautious. Take a look at what price does here in about 14 minutes, and we might even be on by then as well. All right, let's check the chat.
Now, I saw somebody put out there, and it was a good question. I don't know who it was on Twitter. They put, do you think that the OA address will sacrifice more or less Hex this time? Because last time, I think the last day, like 13 billion came out. What are your thoughts on that, Brandon?
I think the point of that, if you follow suit with USDC and Pulse Chain, the point of that is to snatch up the supply, to make sure that they have 51% of the supply at least, and they'll probably have about 90, 95
Mm,
if they follow suit. So
yeah.
yes, I think that's going to happen. That's going to happen probably the last day. The OA is going to see how much has been sacrificed up until that point by us plebs, and they're going to swoop in and snatch up the rest to make sure that they control that supply quite a bit. And that's it's a game theory thing. It's a bullish thing. I've talked about it quite a bit. So let's see here. SAC from a hardware wallet is highly recommended. If you don't have a hardware wallet, I repeat, do not sacrifice from an exchange. Do not sacrifice from Coinbase. Do not sacrifice from GDAX. Do not Gemini, Polonia, whatever you're in. Make sure you have MetaMask, Trust Wallet, or whatever the case may be. Make sure that you have the keys. You own those seed words, and nobody else does. Okay, let's check.
I mean, I would just tell people like get MetaMask. I mean, it's pretty clear that Richard, that's kind of what he supports until he has his own wallet, which I mean that'll come at some point. But he talks about MetaMask all the time. I mean, just get the extension. Either I have it on the phone, I have it on my computer. Like it's just
Click the likes, guys. This is the official SAC stream.
official sack. Is this the same guy that was talking about the boners and stuff? It's like sacks and
No,
boners.
that was Anon Jawa. Anonymous Jawa. Is that a Star Wars reference, I guess? Maza, thanks for hooking this stream up for us. Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Now,
I haven't.
guys, I want to say this, and I'm just saying this to spread the love everywhere. I'm not the only stream, and maybe you'll learn more at different streams. If you go to hexstreamers.com, it's going to have a list of all the folks that are live right now. So, in the course of this, go hear different things, different strategies. It's important to cross pollinate, get
Brandon,
information
you're one
everywhere
of
we
the
can.
only streams as far as I'm concerned. Hey,
Oh,
I have a question. Do you have a twin or something, dude? I can't even. I mean, I just got back from Japan, ladies and gentlemen. I've got this meningitis thing. We were planning on doing a talk, and I hopped on here because,
hold on. You can't just say I got this meningitis thing. What do you mean? It's
I don't know.
bacterial
It's
or
probably
viral,
this
bro?
Omicron thing. I don't know. I'm not really concerned.
Meningitis and Omicron. That's two different. Dude, you're freaking me out, man. You're not on a ship right now.
Hey,
You're in
should I
like
have
a
should I
quarantine
have a
cell.
mask on right now? Should I have a mask? Do you see that
Those are
tweet? The
those are
lady.
UV rays coming down to kill whatever's in there.
You already had it. You're
So,
fine.
do I have a twin? Is that what?
Well, yeah, you put out so much content, man. I can't even keep up with all your stuff. It's amazing, and it's just awesome, man.
Yeah, it's not that I have a twin. It's that I don't have a life because I love you guys so much. Actually, you know what? Let's wipe that off. Bam! Hate all of you.
Hey, I just want to say, Brandon, truthfully, Rags Rich is Brandon. He's awesome. I just had a daughter, and he's like, he just remembers everything. He's sending me out messages on Twitter, and so cool, man. I mean, you're really awesome, Brandon. You're a hell of a guy. It's pretty
Moving
awesome.
on. Okay.
Romancing.
Let's see here. David Lee, man, you like those knuckle drag. All right, let's talk about this. Do you think we will what is this? Do you think we'll have share parties in the future and we'll dress up? Boner Dick, I'm not gonna address that. I'm not going to. What does this say? Someone already sacked from Coinbase. Guys, there are going to be
Guys,
people that
seriously.
sacrifice from Coinbase. And there's nothing we can do to save this, folks. We got to get the word out. It is what it is.
Yeah.
It
Hopefully it
is
wasn't a
what it
lot of
is.
money. I mean, it's unfortunate either way. Like my friend that got scammed, I mean, if it doesn't come from Richard Hart, if it's not that address, don't even believe the address that React is putting out there. I mean, look it from Richard Hart, literally. And I mean, I copied a few times because you want to make sure you get the right one, but verify, verify, verify. The address, and don't do it from a centralized exchange. You have to have your own keys. Just do it from MetaMask. Keep it easy.
Correct. All right. Somebody says 35 million sacrificed so far.
Oh
I'm
man,
looking forward to seeing what this candle does here in the next 9 minutes. So we'll be on when that occurs. Crypto Heartbeat, I'm not a part of this mess. He's got a reputation to protect here. Poor guy. What's this say? Is the sacrifice? Yeah, the sacrifice has been announced. If you go to Richard Hart's Twitter, you can kind of check out the information on that. Essentially, you're going to have until we're telling everybody January 9th, so you don't shoot yourself in the foot. It's actually January 10th. But for every dollar amount of crypto, every $1 that you sacrifice, you will have a 10,000 PLSX point bonus. So it's 1 to 10,000 until January 10th, technically. All right. Crypto Heartbeat, man. If you look at the top, man, I've got this stream pinned. You can click that link. Anybody can click that link that's pinned at the top of YouTube. If you
you
guys
need to
want
get
to
a
pop in
professional.
and
You need to
ask
get a
questions.
professional, man. Get the Crypto Heartbeat in here. You got to get rid of me. He's awesome. We love Crypto Heartbeat.
Dude, everybody thinks we have a bromance, man. I don't have a bromance with that freaking
Well,
old
we did
hag.
both work on the ships in very similar ways, and you know what they say? It's not gay when you're underway. But I mean, I don't know.
That's what they do say. They do say. You go out, what, 200 singles and come back 100 couples, right? Bromancing. a non-Jawa. What are you saying here? I hate the way you are, Brandon. Well, the feeling's completely mutual. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. Somebody said ASL got pics. Gosh, man, that's like GeoCities, AIM, Instant Messenger, Yahoo Chat from like 1998.
The
Some
bro ship.
people,
The bro.
what's this say? Some people are just meant to suck at life, like Coinbase, centralized exchange sackers, and people named Brandon. I'd give a lot more credit to the people that sacrifice from sexes rather than Brandon. Pulse Chain Coin, what happened to that? I'm a total rookie. Yeah. So let's talk about that. There are some new folks in here. Back in July, I think July, August, I forgot, maybe September, you were able to sacrifice for the Pulse Chain launch, right? So for every dollar amount of crypto that you sacrifice in the first 5 days, you would receive 10,000 PLS points. And those are going to show up in your MetaMask the day that that Ethereum is forked and turns into Pulse Chain. All right. So the way the timeline looks right now, if Pulse Chain or PulseX sacrifice is done in about 45 days, we're probably looking at the middle to end of February before we actually have a launch for Pulse Chain. And at the same time Pulse Chain is launched, PulseX will be launched. And if you do have any coins in those wallets, that's when they will show up. So probably about, middle of February, I would imagine.
Now that pulse, like you could, if you want to see, if you already sacrificed and you want to see like your balance, like you can look at your, like the pulse balance you should be getting. If you go to apphex.win/charts and you put in your public Ethereum address, it'll populate your amount of pulse you should have. So apphex.win/charts, and it'll show you stuff.
The big question is, I haven't found a place that I know for sure, and I definitely could be wrong, but to find your ranking multiplier, does it show that as well, or is it
It
estimated?
doesn't show. It just shows you like how much you should have coming. And I mean, I kind of had an idea. I know how much I sacrificed, and I mean, it was actually like what it has in here was higher. It was more pulse than I thought I had coming. But then again, I sacrificed hex, so I don't know. And maybe it was higher than I thought. So it was a higher calculated figure, and I didn't sacrifice till later on. I didn't do a whole ton of money, but it it showed it on mine when I put my Ethereum address in there. So.
Yeah. So, Cryptoland, if I sacrifice Tron to the Tron address, how do they know the correct address to send the PulseX tokens to? Because they can see the address of the wallet it came from. And assuming that you have a wallet that you own the keys to, you can add additional networks to that wallet. You'll be able to add the Pulse Chain network. And when you add the Pulse Chain network, at that point in time, you will see your coins for the Pulse Chain network. Okay, so it reads the wallet that the sacrifice came from, and it will reciprocate that at some point in the future.
And just remember, if we're all hex skins, we'll say it again. I mean, I know me personally, if I had like some USDC I wanted to sacrifice, I converted it to hex, and then for the sacrifice, and you're essentially removing that hex from the supply. I mean, it's just we're all hex skins, you want to pump your own bags. I mean, if you have Tron or whatever, and it's easy, you can just go to the Ethereum, you put it in your MetaMask, so there's no confusion if you want to save yourself.
Yeah. This is funny, but it's very true. This is very true. If you smoke weed or you have a habit of drinking, if you like to pop a little Molly at like 5 o'clock every day, do not sacrifice when you're jacked up. All right. Because you're only going to get one shot at this. You got to be clear headed. You got to be clairvoyant. You've got enough time. All right. So don't sacrifice high. Don't sacrifice under the influence. Take your time. You have until January 9th. Take your time. Enjoy the show. Do not sacrifice high or under the influence. Don't do it. All right. Don't get that liquid courage to
ask a friend. I mean, you can literally like send, if you're concerned, Brandon's awesome. Just like message him on Twitter or on here or whatever. Say, hey, So I'm going to send to this address. I'm going to do this. I know Brandon's kind of guy. He would hold everyone's hand. Somebody already sacrificed high.
There are plenty, I'm sure. Hit the likes, you mindless apes. Wake
Hey, he's
dog,
not the
my
Coinbase
man.
guy, is he?
I don't know. I hope not. All right. Let's see. This is actually true. I'm sweating just looking at your guest. Looks like my grandmother's bathroom sitting under that heat lamp, and the bathroom probably
It's just a
smells like
red light.
mothballs.
It's just red. Red is good at night. You got to do some studies on blue light and red light. It's all about the red light.
Apparently. All right. What is this? 2/22/22 crypto heartbeat. I'm assuming that's when you think it's going to launch, or is that when it ends? I don't know. Thank you. You're welcome, Pete. Cryptomatic. You might want to wait until the D app is live if you want to be 100% safe. Yeah, folks, chill. You can just chill. That's all you got to do. We got time. Don't let anybody else convince you otherwise. Just
Wait
relax.
till the official site comes up. There's literally no rush.
Yeah. Yep. Do not sack high. Okay. Let's see what this says. Brandon, I don't think the sack phase for PLSX ends until end of February, maybe 225. So I don't think the PLS chain can launch until afterwards, right? Also, the accounting for PLSX, the accounting for I don't know. I'm assuming the accounting for PLSX SAC will probably occur. Maybe it'll occur in version 3 of PLS. I don't know, because they're going to be running those tallies. So if we do, when is the official end? What did he say the official end date was? Let me go to Richard.
You go onto his Twitter. Let's see here.
I might have put it in. Hold on. Did I put it in my Google Doc? Yeah. 47 days. So from now until January 10th, and from January 10th, we've got 47 days.
Yeah, if you look at, I'm sure I retweeted it, and I don't know if you retweeted it, Brandon, but Richard Hart's got a whole thread on here. The PulseX sacrifice is creating a set of people that believe in freedom of movement, assembly, sacrifice to prove you believe, pre-access. So this is the pre-access, and he gives the Ethereum address. He says ends in DC8, and then he goes on. You can also sacrifice Binance Smart Chain, Polygon, Avalanche, Ethereum Classic, and Ethereum Optimism to the same address, or Tron only at this address, and he gives another address. And then he said you have to wait for Bitcoin because and that'll be when the PulseX site comes up. And then he breaks it down here in his thing.
Yeah. So so 225 middle of February, maybe the mainnet doesn't launch for a week or two after that. So maybe we're pushing out to March. We're gonna have quite a long time to be able to sacrifice for PulseX. I think that's probably to buy them time to get all the work done for Pulse, I'd imagine. So let's see here. Have to be done so early mid-March. So here's the thing. The key is there's not many situations. There's a couple situations, but for people with smaller stacks, there's probably not many situations where you'd want to wait till after January 10th to sacrifice. You want to sacrifice as much as you can, probably, if you have a smaller stack, and get the bonus multiplier of 1 to 10,000. Every day after that, it decreases by 5% the amount that $1 can get point wise. So, too late. I sacrificed high AF. What? It's 420 all the time. Yeah, and I tell all my folks that are always in my Telegram, like, this is the importance of being able to pull up tradingview.com and being able to read your own chart. The more self-sufficient that you can get, the more you can force yourself to learn, especially if you're new. Like, pull up TradingView, set up a simple account, start looking at some charts. It's going to look like freaking matrix code on the screen. Well, cool. Guess what? You can go to YouTube and you can spend 30 minutes once or twice a week learning about how to read a chart. And then within a very short amount of time, you've got enough knowledge to be able to make better decisions about your money. So, all right, let's see. 702.
Just do what I do. I just watch Brandon's videos. I just put my earbud in at night, and I just fall asleep to the sound of his voice. I get all kinds of knowledge that way.
Gosh, man, why does everybody say that, man? Gosh. everybody, man, they're like, I put them to sleep. Is that what you're saying, man? Or I put you to sleep?
No, man, it's
I'm
hard.
just
It's
kidding.
hard to fall asleep.
I
It's
know.
so soothing though. You got that voice, you know. It's just.
Well, thank you, darling. I appreciate it. All right, I'm going to reload this chart. We're going to see what's going on here.
What do you mean the red balance is off? What are you talking about?
All right, let's check. Let's check. If anybody sacrificed already, how much gas did you pay?
Well, the GUI right now is, I don't know, 100 and I think I paid, it was like $20
Yeah.
to send it. Right now, I'm on ethgasstation.info. It's actually it's 188 the base GUI right now, so it's gone up from when I did it. So if you don't sacrifice very much, you might wait. I mean, basically, that number I just gave you to to send an ERC20 like Hex is going to cost you probably 40 to $50, just
Yeah.
so you know.
Yeah. So Pete, I remember you telling me earlier in the chat that you're kind of new here. So there are 3 coins in the Richard Hart ecosystem. Yes, there is Hex, there is Pulse Chain, and there is PulseX. He says, I've staked 5 grand worth of Hex. I did not sacrifice for Pulse Chain. So I'll automatically double my Hex. Can I stake PulseX? All right, so let's just take this back here. So you've staked 5 grand worth of Hex. If you've staked 5 grand worth of Hex, all right, you're going to get the amount. It might not be the same value. It's going to be the same quantity. You're going to get those stakes on the Pulse Chain. So the answer is yes there. Will it be the same value? We don't know. We're not prophets. You should look around, see what other people say. I think there's a very good chance that price buoyancy will be reached pretty quick, but I don't know for sure. So I'll automatically double my Hex. Can I stake PulseX? You will be able to provide liquidity for PulseX. If you have any questions about what the hell liquidity is, I did my best yesterday to create a video to break it down so anybody can be taught about what liquidity is, liquidity pools, and decentralized exchanges.
And that
So
was a great video. And
yeah,
you got to be careful though. If you guys aren't super advanced, you're someone new like this Pete. I mean, just be aware you can have some impermanent loss scenarios.
yeah,
If you just hold PulseX and you do nothing, all the trading that's going on, because PulseX is going to be essentially the Uniswap, the Uniswap of Pulse. 21% of the fees are gonna buy and burn the PulseX. Just hold it. You don't have to do anything, and it's gonna go up in value.
yeah. I've heard some folks. I've seen some stuff in Reddit and Facebook and Twitter. They're saying that PulseX is just a little bit too advanced for new people. And I'm gonna say this, like he said, all you have to do is sacrifice and then just hold it. You don't have to do anything else. Are there other things you can do? Sure. If you're not comfortable with that, that's fine. So what's the power in crypto? How do you win in crypto? There's really only 2 or 3 things. The power is in getting in on day one on any coin. And even if it's not a Richard Hart coin, even if you got in day one on a scam, that's probably the safest place to be. And I'm not encouraging you guys to do that. I just know that some of you do. If you can get day one on crypto, that's the best place. It's got the best protection. If the price pumps 6,000% and the corrects 90%, you're still in profit. So that's the
Just
important.
remember, you're still pre-viral with Hex. I got in. I was there before day one on Hex, and I can assure you, it's been incredible. But
Yeah, I
you're
think I was
still
watching.
early.
I was watching Whales Only last night, and he was pulling up the charts, and he mentioned that from big payday to now, only about 76,000 new addresses have been added, and that those 76,000 new addresses have caused the price appreciation that we've seen in Hex. You've got folks that have millions and millions and millions of addresses. You know, a million here, a couple million there. So we are early. 76,000 addresses compared to a million. So that's good too. All right, so let me check. Oh yeah, so the other thing is you get in early. That's very, very important. If you can get in early, that's a huge hedge of protection against downside. Huge hedge. The other cool thing about this is You have a really great community that's behind this project already. Okay. You have a tidal wave of users coming in. In that video I did yesterday, we talked about Pancake Swap. It took Pancake Swap about 45 days from launch just to hit 70,000 users. I think we'll have 70,000 users within the first couple of days, if not on launch, or maybe more, 75,000. So that's cool too. So you've got a really good project, and it's
Well,
Richard
that
Hart
the
project.
Meet Kevin interview. I mean, Meet Kevin has 1.77 million subscribers. I mean, that's going to it'll just keep propagating, and as they come out and get bigger, and it's only a matter of time. Did you see the tweet by Richard Hart about that Dan Blitzerin?
Yeah.
I mean that.
What's the deal with that dude? Is he ousted? Is he screwed now? Is he making a comeback? I don't know.
I have no idea, but my point is, I'm
Doesn't
just
matter.
saying that
Yeah.
I'm not funding Jim, guys. I'm the future is cheap now. Man,
This is funding. This is funding Jim, the beta version.
this is the in the chicken coop version. I see these comments over here, the chicken coop, because I'm trying to. It's a therapy, I guess.
All right, let's check some more things to do.
Oh my gosh, the GUI is 273. Yeah, right now you might want to just chill.
I think the dude on the right is a little bit overexposed. All right, Ginger. What? Ginger has many health benefits for all. Yeah.
Yeah, 277 on the GUI, man. Holy crap.
All right, let's check. I'm scrolling down here. We have to wait until, oh my God, we have to wait until the end of February for SAC to be finished. Yeah, you do. What is this? Boner Kid or Boner? I'm just going to call you Boner Kid for YouTube purposes. Super chat, $33, 33 Echo at 33 exciting. Thank you so much, man. I really, really appreciate you. You supported me for a long time, man. I know people talk a lot of crap about you and you don't have any friends, but I'm here for you. Love you, man. Is he broadcasting from Mars? David Rarig, dude. You can count on David Rarig. You really can.
This is
Mike
an anticipatory. I already started sacrificing, man. So yeah, I'm already prepping for Mars. Good call.
What's up, Mike? Howdy. This is a question. Is it a good idea to sacrifice ETH or better any other ERC20 token? Or
Yeah, get
it doesn't
HEX.
matter?
Get HEX and sacrifice your HEX, man. But don't do it right. Like right now, the fees are so friggin' high. It just, oh my gosh.
Yeah. So what I'm gonna Manuel, it just depends on your situation. I don't know how much you have. I don't know if you have Hex stake. You don't have anything else. Like whatever you can do, whatever you can do. It would be nice if you did have Hex, you could kind of contribute to that pump. But if not, that's fine too. Just do whatever you can. It's not going to be a huge difference.
I mean, the fees just suck. I got it. We're up almost 300 GUI right now. I mean, this is why we're getting Pulse. And I think I agree with Richard in that when you don't have to spend all this money on the Ethereum gas fees, it doesn't have to go to Ethereum. It can go into the HEX. You retain it in a lot of other projects that'll be able to run on Pulse.
Yeah. Now, let me talk to you. If you've got a bunch of influencers, and let's face it, there's a lot of folks that are going to be streaming over the next, couple hours, this and that, and they're telling people to calm down and relax and everything. Just remember that a lot of people are hearing that message, which means if you get close to January 9th, that might be the time that Hex can really pump hard because everybody's like stepping back a little bit. So for every action, there's a equal reaction. Just make sure you keep that in your head. Kind of think about that. All right.
And just remember, though, all those other people streaming, they're probably not going to be streaming from a chicken coop like I am.
No, you're in quarantine because you have bacterial streptococcus meningitis wherever the hell.
I'm sucking on these cough drops like they're going out of style, man. This is a dry hack.
Only Valtrex can save you now, dude. That's it. All right, let's see. Are you sure this guy? All right. Are you sure this guy's in the red light district in the A dam smoking ash? Yeah.
I've been there both in Bremerhaven, Germany, and in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
And in Antwerp, Belgium. Let me tell you something about the red light district. And I'm not into the women and stuff, but I'll tell you, you can go up to these windows in Antwerp, Belgium, and it was 30 euros. This is a couple years ago. 30 euros, man. And literally, every girl looks like a Playboy model. It's like you've never seen before. It's like, what in the world? You just have to see it, man. It's crazy. You're like, wow.
I I have too much respect for you because you just opened yourself up. You teed me up hard just now, dude. I can't do it. Can you please explain when the rate will be best for sacrifice? I keep hearing we should wait for a few days so we get a better rate. So there's two parts to this. The first part is the rate is going to stay the same until January 10th. I'd recommend that you kind of look at January 9th as your cutoff date for you to make an action on that. The other part to that, and this is the part that you have to make the decision about. If you're holding HEX, for example, are you betting that HEX is going to pump? All right. Are you betting that HEX is going to double or it's going to do 30 or 40 or 50 or 60% more? That's what you have to consider. So that's probably what they mean by getting a better rate. From now until January 10th, for every $1 of crypto that you sacrifice, you will get 10,000 PLSX points. That's how that goes, buddy.
The only difference there is there's a volume multiplier bonus, but it's not going to apply to the peons. It's not going to apply to us. And be very careful if they tell you, oh, join this pool, and they want you to contribute to a pool to sacrifice, because what they're doing is they're trying to make it all look like it's coming from the same address to be the number one sacrificer and get the most volume. There's a volume bonus, but you'll probably just get scammed if you do that. That's the only difference.
Yeah, so I've had quite a few folks hit me up about these sacrifice pools, and I'm just going to tell you what my straight up honest opinion on it. I'm not going to bash what anybody else is doing. I just personally don't feel from an ethical standpoint, I don't feel good doing that. I feel like I'm gaming the system from other people in a way.
Yeah.
That's just me personally, and I've got a very, very on the spectrum of that type of stuff. I'm on the far right end. But
risk reward too. I mean, you got to put a
and
lot
you're giving
a lot of ramifications there when
you got to trust to somebody else with a lot of money, and maybe they make a mistake and something so it's kind of messy, a little bit messy for me.
Messy, exactly.
If you know the people and you know they're good for it, maybe it's friends and family. Okay. All right, let's see here. Who's the guy? Announce yourself. Tell us about your channel. Tell us about everything.
I'm the future is cheap now. I really don't do a lot of videos, so I recommend you do Brandon's stuff. I've had my channel now. I just had my 2-year anniversary. I basically started up. I'm a big Bitcoiner, and I like Celsius Network and some other things. I was in HEX very early. I didn't talk about it a lot because there was so much scam talk. I've had a talk with Brandon. We had a talk on my channel. You haven't seen it. It was really good just talking about Brandon. I mean, we kind of connected on Twitter, and he was in the Navy, and I'm in the Merchant Marine. I'm a master in the Merchant Marine, and I work on sub hunters. So on the contractor side for the Department of Defense. So we had a lot of the same kind of experience. And Brandon's an awesome guy, and I go to his channel. I talk about some other stuff. I just try to keep people from scams. I got 160 something videos, a lot of macro stuff. But Brandon's where it's at, and you're gonna start reading Sci-Vibe, huh? Did you get the book I sent you, the PDF?
Yeah. So if you guys were here for my live stream before, and by the way, thank you very much for the kind words. You've got great content, man. And I know the only thing that's kind of holding you back, you're a family man with a newborn baby, and that's huge.
Yeah.
And that's much more important than anything you could do on YouTube. So congratulations.
Yeah, well,
on
I saw the comment, I don't like women or something. Yeah, I'm married and I have a 6-week-old daughter now. So.
Yeah. So I'm going to start reading on live stream because if you guys come to my stream, my goal always is for you guys to get the most value possible, unless I'm playing chess and then I just want to beat up on my fans. That's it. So that's the only other reason. Let's check here.
And I'm not on a ship. I see somebody over there. Charles just commented. I'm not on a ship. I just got back from Japan a few weeks ago because actually when Brandon and I talked, I was in Japan when we did that stream. And we wanted to do more, but just the time change and trying to figure it out.
I had to get up at 6 a.m. to talk to you, man.
It's true.
Can I sacrifice USDC? You can sacrifice USDC. Yeah, sacrifice it from your MetaMask wallet. If you just joined, do not, under any circumstance, sacrifice from a centralized exchange. If you don't know what centralized exchanges are, I did a video yesterday. We'll teach you what a decentralized and a centralized exchange is. Do it from a wallet that you hold the keys to, i.e. MetaMask, i.e. Trust Wallet. And there are others out there, but I'm just going to keep it simple and non-confusing. He
Yeah.
looks like Funding Jim. Yeah, you guys should do like a Saturday Night Live, like dress up as twins type thing. That'd be kind
Who is this funny Jim guy? He must be a pretty good looking dude, huh?
of you Google him, man.
I mean, he's got a lot of red too. I mean, that's kind of unique.
No, you guys could be brothers. Yeah. This was
Really?
the
Holy
yeah.
mackerel! That's awesome.
All right. I'm checking for okay. And by the way, Pete, thank you so much for asking questions. There's a lot of people that are here that are looking for that. So thank you for having the courage to do that. Just by having Hex, I'll get that amount in Pulse Chain. Yes, you're going to get that amount. You're not going to get that value necessarily on day one. And if I sacrifice ETH in a couple days, I'll get PulseX. So I'll have all three, and you are good. Well, you
Man,
told me, if my memory serves me correctly, the second sentence that you said you did not sacrifice for Pulse. So you won't have all three. You're going to have two. Okay. So you're going to have Hex because you're holding that now. And you're going to have PulseX because you're sacrificing for ETH or with ETH for PulseX. So you'll have two.
if you have some ETH during the snapshot, you'll get for every one ETH, you'll get 10,000 pulse, which is tiny, but that's what Richard said. So you will get some pulse, but you'll probably your best bet is to probably buy it on the open market. Don't sacrifice. Don't sacrifice for that right now because the rate's super high for pulse because that's already happened months ago.
All right. Sorry for all the questions. No, you're not. You love getting them answered, Pete.
Man,
Don't you lie, you animal.
Your chat, man, is what it's all about, man. It's hilarious. I'm reading these guys over here. The submarine.
Dude, yeah, it's like this dude is in the reactor, and yeah, it's the hunt for Red October.
I could be Sean Connery.
Yeah, who's your Chang, man? Who's Chang? Chief engineer.
I'm not a Chang, man. I'm the captain. I'm the
I
master.
know you're the cap. You and the captain can make it happen. All right. You're the skipper. They call you skipper out there in the Merchant Marines?
No, actually, it's kind of funny. I mean, on this ship, I'm the chief officer, but all of my people, I mean, I've been here for like 4 years. They actually all call me daddy.
Moving on.
My relief came out, and he never met me before, and I'm turning over with him, and he's like, he asked me the second day, he's like, bro, he's like, why does everybody call you daddy? And I'm like, oh, because that's just who I am.
Dude, I can't do this. I can't do it. Oh, I'll just be passive aggressive towards you on Twitter. How about that? I'll make a meme. Okay, so in this, guys, I want to tell you guys about this because a lot of you do not know. HexStreamers.com. It has a list of all the streamers that are streaming. Everything that I'm saying is cool, but you need to listen to other people because there's people out there a lot smarter than I am. So at any point in time, any point in the day, you can go to hexstreamers.com. You can see who's live, click on it, and go straight there and learn from them too. Learn from as many people as you can.
Dude, and Richard Hart, man, those streams, I'm sure everybody's watching those. Gosh, if you haven't seen the Richard Hart and the Meet Kevin stream yesterday, that was one of his best, honestly. It was so good. I thought it was
a lot of people trash that Meet Kevin guy. I thought he did phenomenal.
I thought so too. He asked great questions. I mean, for an off the fly thing, I really thought he did a good job.
You can tell he had assumptions, preconceived notions about this or that because he talked to his friends and he's researched and he's. But for the dude, he was very professional. He kept Richard moving. Even Richard gave him some compliments about his acumen. So I thought it was good. I've seen a
Richard
lot
was on fire, man. That was Richard really, I think, at his best. It was really good.
Bertram Mitchell, the man, the myth, the legend, Brando Calrissian. Talk to me about BTC SAC, please. Should I convert BTC to ETH now and then SAC, or just wait to BTC SAC?
Well, let me tell you what I've been doing because I've actually, personally, I have a lot of Bitcoin. I've actually been flipping some Bitcoin. I've been converting it to Hex through Change Now. If you go to Change Now, it's an app or they have a website. Change Now, I think is it .com. But Change Now, you can send your Bitcoin, and then it's a decentralized exchange basically. Then you can tell them where you want them to send your. I like Hex, but you could do ETH or whatever. But you just and then they'll send it. So what I did is I went on to Change Now, and I have the app on my phone, and I said, all right, I'm going to send 1 Bitcoin, or I'm going to send a tenth of a Bitcoin, or whatever I'm going to send. And then they say, okay, what do you want? And you have your Bitcoin. I had Hex, and so they're going to get this much, and they charge like 1 or 2%. It's very reasonable. And then they ask you where you want them to send it, and I put in my MetaMask Ethereum address. And then they say, okay, the next step is send Bitcoin to this address. They give you an address, and you send it there, and then
Have you
it
done
takes.
this behind the giant firewall of the United States, or have you done this overseas? Have you done this in the U.S. yet from
I've
that
been doing it
website?
right here. No, I've been
Okay,
doing it. It's
good.
not an issue at
I didn't.
all.
I didn't know. Do you have a VPN or no?
I do have a VPN, but I made it set for Miami. Like I feel
Oh,
like
so
I
you're
live in
good.
South
Okay.
Florida. Yeah, so it's no issues. Now, like you're talking about like 1inch.io, 1inch,
Mhm.
there's an issue for whatever reason, but there's no issue with a change.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to register or anything. I mean, there's no they don't need any information. You have to sign up for anything. You just send and receive because you're doing crypto to crypto. And
Greetings from
I've done
Amsterdam.
quite a few transactions. Honestly, in the past couple of days, I've probably moved a couple 100,000 through them, and I haven't had an
Yeah,
issue.
Eric, it just depends, man. I mean, I didn't check and see what's the price of. All right, so the price of the new daily candle on Hex, it went red a little
Drum
bit,
roll.
and now it's coming back up. So with those candles, what we're expecting, I expect it to pump a little bit. There will be some type of manipulation from people who just want to get out, or whatever the case may be. But I think for the most part, we're going to be pumping for a while here.
Well, and what do you think
Um,
about this, Brandon? I mean, we've been going down now. We're down what 80%. I mean, for a couple months. I mean, I think a lot of people wanted to dump. They've been dumping.
Yeah, and here's the thing. The funny part about that is if you look at the total users, it was increasing every single day. If you looked at the total volume, there was a lot of people buying, but there were just bigger people dumping. There was a few people that had big wallets that were dumping, but everybody was buying. It was constant. Much more buyers than sellers. It's
Yeah.
just the sellers had more weight. So it made it look like on the price chart that bad things were happening, but in all reality, user count was going up. Our average stake length has just hit 6 years. I think that was
Yep.
today,
Yep.
which is awesome, and that has steadily been going up as well. So, yeah, it's good news. So, Eric, man, it just depends. Depends on what you
And I'll
want to
be
do here.
honest, after that Meet Kevin stream, I've had multiple people reach out to me. They were not like Richard Hart fans, they weren't Hex fans or anything, and they were like, "Wow, like I they're buying Hex, they're coming into PulseX, like they're coming into it because just off that interview, I mean that opened a lot of people's eyes."
Yeah, and I'm gonna say this. This is a pretty large crowd that we have here. Normal, more than usual. You got to build bridges in this community, guys. You got to do it. You know, if somebody calls our community out on Twitter, you got to really make a judgment call about whether or not they're being malicious or it's a genuine concern. And if it's a genuine concern and they're not just being, you know, bad people, reach out to them, direct message them, to be like, hey,
Exactly.
you know, and I've done that a couple times. Hey, I understand how you feel. I felt the same way for a long time, but reach out to me and I'll kind of walk you through what I've found out about this through this whole process. Because I've studied, I've uncovered every crevice here. I know what I'm talking about. So to make connections, folks, that's going to mean a lot in the future. It's going to mean a lot about the character of who we are too as a community. All right.
And exactly what he's saying, the tribalism. And I get a lot of hate because on my channel, I got like 1,200 subscribers now or 1,300 subscribers. And I've gotten a lot of Hexkins have come in, but I was a big Bitcoin guy, kind of a Bitcoin maxi. And then I like Celsius Network. So then the Bitcoin guys hate Celsius. You know, they're CFI. And then the Hexy guys hate Celsius because, you know, it's CFI. All this tribalism. But it's like we try to, like Brandon's saying, build bridges, bring people from different areas, and we're all one kumbaya. And if we can, hopefully help people avoid scams. Now, if you come into Hex, I mean, with Pulse, I mean, like Richard said yesterday in his stream, I mean, he's vertically integrating this thing. I mean, he's going to have the transactional with Pulse. You're going to have the Uniswap with Pulse X, store of value with Hex. I I still like Bitcoin. I think it's the money, and I think it's opportunity for a lot of third world countries and whatnot. But I mean, hey, maybe that changes. But anything, for the time being, let's try to just bring everybody together, build those bridges.
And I understand, and I've always got to represent the other side of the equation too. I can completely understand how passionate that somebody would be who got into Hex on day one, and it's made them so much money, and how passionate they would be to want to forward that to everybody that they know and defend vehemently that notion too. I get it. I understand that. We just got to be very careful. Just be very, very careful about how we treat people that aren't in the community.
Do you think I don't kick myself, ladies, gentlemen? I put nothing into Hex. I mean, literally, and it was like a fun whatever because I thought Richard Hart was awesome. If you watch the video I did almost 2 years ago, I bought each of my siblings for Christmas a 500,000 hex 5-year stake before big payday. It's like 1.3 million hex right now. When hex hit a penny, I was ecstatic. I had stakes coming off. I sold 1.5 million of them so fast I couldn't wait to get out. I did an emergency answer. I had no understanding. I put nothing in there. I just got lucky.
Yep.
Now, fortunately, I kind of understood the protocol, and I mean, I have 15-year stakes and put it out there. Now I'm a pretty high dolphin. I mean, I'm fortunate, and I've been buying aggressively, and I've kind of learned my lesson a little bit.
Can you tell everybody you're a high dolphin again?
I'm a high dolphin.
But yeah, so yeah, the moral of the story is, man, wish we could have got bitten back then. I understand how people feel who are. They're very loyal to the product, and Richard and all. I get it. That makes sense.
There's other opportunities. I mean, I think this is PulseX is a great opportunity. Hex is still pre-viral. I mean, I really did the research here in the past year. I've really started going down the rabbit hole more. I mean, I got in there, got lucky, didn't understand it. Now I've been started putting my money where my mouth is. I mean, I sold those 1.5 million hex for a penny. I mean, think about that, ladies and gentlemen. I got $15,000, which was a lot more money than I put in for 1.5 million hex. That's worth how many? I mean, it's mind-numbing how much it's worth. Hundreds of thousands of dollars now. Yep. But I've been putting money. I mean, I've put a couple $100,000 in just in these past few months buying this dip. And I mean, I was before big payday. I was one of the day one guys, and day one was actually a bad day. It was the later days because I kept every day. This is back when Ethereum was $100, $125. Every day I was putting in a 100th of an ETH, a 100th of a 100th, little tiny things, and I had a couple accounts. Now you learn, and we're all still so early. And to me now, it's like I don't want to dump on everybody. It doesn't matter that I got tens of millions of hex. I'm not going to dump on you guys and gals. I don't sell anything. Everything's going 3650, 5555. This is like we're hexagons. This project. Does it matter if I'm, being a billionaire or being worth 100 million or whatever? It doesn't matter. I mean, I have everything I want. I'm a frugal guy. All
right, Daddy, be quiet. Daddy, be quiet.
But I mean, seriously, Hex, it's holding. It's like what Richard Hart talked about yesterday. It's just about holding. I mean, we're all billionaires. Really, we're all everybody watching this. You're so early. You're in Hex. Everybody's a millionaire. Honestly, it's just delaying gratification and realizing it. You're on paper and you just play the game. Play the game theory. Scrape off a little interest down the road, whatever. But what does the ultimate number mean for you? I see these idiots dumping, 500,000 or dumping 100 or 1 million USD. It's like, it's crazy. What are you doing? They've got lucky early and now they're just dumping it. I've got a lot of stakes coming up. I could just dump like crazy. What would that do? It's stupid. This is the best performing thing we've ever seen. And you're just seeing billionaires and people coming in. Like, this is like, we're just going viral. Like, why would you be getting out right now, especially with Pulse Chain and everything else?
Yeah. If I sacrifice ETH, will it count as its current dollar value or the value when the actual PulseX is active? It goes by a TWAP, which is a time-weighted average. So it's going to be the average price within a 30-minute time frame of when you sacrificed. So they'll lock that number in. So that's going to be the number that you will receive based on that 30-minute period when you sacrificed.
All right, the dollar value, right?
Yes. You guys are great. Thanks for entertainment. All right. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Checking through here. Okay. Okay. What is this? Do we simply sack to the address that Richard Hart dropped in Twitter? Is there more to it? Well, there is a little bit more. Make sure you're
There's a lot more
sacrificing
to it.
from a wallet that you hold. That's very important to hold the keys to. And make sure that you are sacrificing ERC20 tokens to the ERC20 address that he put on Twitter. And I always recommend that you go directly to the source. Do not trust anything that any influencer says or anything you see pasted anywhere. Go straight to the source. Very important. All right.
And we talked about scaling in, scaling out. I mean, there could be some strategy. And on Twitter, I posted my strategy for those people that have just come in. I mean, I sacrificed 15,000 hex just before we started the stream. Hex is an ERC20 token. I sacrificed to the Ethereum address. I've got almost 200,000 hex that I plan on sacrificing. I'm hoping that hex will go up even more. It could go down. Anything can happen. And I plan on scaling, continuing to just sacrifice, as we go up. I mean, if we pop to like $1 tomorrow, go straight up, I'm probably going to sacrifice a lot more,
Yeah.
maybe,
We just flipped green on the new daily candle, by the way, so that's good. Okay. We are going to get a 1-to-1 copy of Hex when Pulse Chain comes out. So your T-share count is going to double. Your T-share count will double if you're staked. So you're going to get a copy of your stakes. You're going to get a copy of your non-staked Hex as well on the Pulse Chain.
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah, 333 on the price right now for Hex.
Yeah.
You going to give us some technical analysis, Brandon? You going to pull the chart up and?
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second. Eric Bertram Mitchell, whatever your name was, just reach out to me directly and we can kind of talk a little bit more. Let's see here. Check. If you have any questions, please post them in the chat. Helping my onboards off and on the streams. Can you start over, Brandon? You can rewind the stream and start from the beginning if you want to do that. Or if you have any questions, you can ask me right now. All right, this was the statement. Tribalism divides us as an industry. It should be crypto first, followed by participation within one's tribe. And that's the thing, guys. It's human nature. It didn't start in crypto, and it's not going to end in crypto. It's been around forever. There's just proven ways to get around it. And somebody has to swallow their pride, and somebody has to pass that.
Well, and the truth of the matter is, it's money. We're dealing with money here. It's like when you hear don't mix family and money. When you do that, and all of a sudden, you have all these family disputes. It's money. It's the same kind of thing. Money and fortunes made and lost, and people get very emotional, and psychology and everything else comes into play.
Yeah. If you please try to let us know any new information on what and where we can sacrifice. Love your channel, but want to get it in ASAP. Try to put up a list. I have a list published to the web. If you join my Telegram group,
there's no emergency. There's no emergency. I mean, I know you're saying ASAP, but think about the strategy a little bit. Who is this? Gravlev. It's not an emergency. You have until the 10th of February, or I'm sorry,
January.
10th of January, where Brandon's saying the 9th, where the rates all going to be the same, 10,000 Pulse X for every $1 sacrificed. And if you're sacrificing something like Hex, hey, maybe you get a pump. There's things to think about here. So don't rush. We've had a report that somebody just sacrificed right from Coinbase and they just lost their funds. One of my friends just got scammed in a Telegram group. He just lost 4,000 Hex. Don't be a penny smart and a pound foolish. Don't measure twice, cut once. I don't know what other sayings do we have. Just take your time. This is an important thing. I mean, you'd hate to sacrifice everything fast and then end up losing everything,
Super chat, the living man. Thank you so much. $5. That means a lot to me. Thank you very much. You did not have to do that. Everybody else in chat, they're just worthless.
Hey man, you know what he does? The Navy guy on the ship for $5, that's a lot of money to him.
Dude, don't tell them our secrets.
What do you mean our secrets? I wasn't on the ship with you.
Yeah, Far Out Aliens has been awesome. I dropped $100 super chat in a remote controlled car YouTube channel and let them know about this. And one guy in the comment selection said, thank you. Awesome, dude. Far Out Aliens, dude, you've been crushing it. Thank you so much for your donations for my Christmas video, man. That meant a whole lot, man.
And that was an awesome video, man.
Yeah.
And I hope that you're gonna, I guess you'll sacrifice something for him for PulseX and get him started. That
Yeah,
was really
yeah.
cool, Brand. I kind of it made me emotional. Not gonna lie, it was pretty
Well,
cool.
well, you need to freaking man up. All right, take your time, people. Relax. Look for when the whales sacrifice. I think we just got to the bottom of the daggone comment, so that's pretty impressive.
How many?
We
So
sacrificed
can
our
you
heck.
see? You have it like pulled up? Can we? Because somebody was saying like 33 or 34 million had already been sacrificed.
Yeah,
Can you give
30.
us
I
like a
think it was
live breakdown
33. I
on it?
think they said 33. My memory serves me. And that was pretty far up. Stake half your hex. You could go to that. You could go to that address and see how much the total is. The sacrifice address on etherscan.io.
Yeah. All right.
Stake half your hex and sack the other half after 1,000 days. You'll have your hex back. It's like free PLSX. Yep. Do what's best for you. Do what you need. Do what you want. There's a lot of strategies. I think probably since we're going to have such a long sacrifice phase, I'm going to come up with a list of strategies and I'll make a video out of it for you guys. You can kind of just bounce that off of what you know and what you heard from other folks and just kind of see what might be best for you. All right.
That's a great idea.
How much of the whale's going to sack? Well, one thing is for sure, we've got whales in this community, so they'll probably sack a lot. Um, can somebody give me the Pulse Chain wallet address? I want to ether scan it. Uh, yeah, so I'll give this to you. I do not recommend anybody sacrifice to this simply because I am the one copying pasting. If you want to sacrifice, make it a habit to go directly to the source. Go to Richard's Twitter and get that information. Yeah. All right. So it's already there. When will PulseX start gaining value? Do we have to wait until Pulse Chain starts to get a PulseX coin? That's a good question. Yeah. So PulseX lives on Pulse Chain. Pulse Chain is not launched yet. Pulse Chain and PulseX will launch in tandem. So, we have to wait. There's price discovery there. So just like anything else that starts out, there will be over $12 million sacrificed apparently.
12 million. See,
Um,
I'm there right now. I don't know if I'm on the right one.
it should say Ethereum value or Ether value potentially.
I'm seeing 27.45 Ether, but there's a lot pending right now. It's only showing 100,000 for me. No, wait. What is this? No, I
It's
made
like 20
19
million.
point. Yeah, 20 billion. I'm sorry, 20 billion.
Billion or
20
million?
million, 20 million, 20 million. M,
Okay.
M.
Cool. Heard it first here on the Rags Riches update. Yeah, it was posted a while ago. I had one of the people in my Telegram group called me up freaking out, and I was like, "Dude, chill. We're good. We're good. We're good. I'll
So
get on stream here."
it's 20 million. So I guess my sacrifice must have hit, huh?
Yep. And folks, we've got a bigger green candle here. Let's kind of take a look at this since we got everybody around. We'll kind of take a look at the charts. Let me see what this looks like on y'all's end. That looks horrible, actually. We unhide that.
What?
And we'll put this on the side. All right. So this is the 4-hour chart. We just had a new candle. It's going green. This is pretty bullish structure. We've had, if we go back in time here, let's check.
Yeah, we are going
Yeah.
up.
We had a pretty big area of resistance back in I guess October. And you can kind of tell that this was an area where people were dumping supply. So we had to eat all that supply up before we can move forward. And if we look at this resistance line, price popped up, bounced back down, popped up, bounced back down, fell out. We had this channel. At this point, it looks like it's launched up above this channel. A lot of times what we'll see is, after this hard bounce at the bottom of the channel, we'll see price bounce back up and it'll retest the top and it'll use this as support. And that's almost like a trampoline if it does stay up above this, which I think we've got the fundamental news right now to do that. So if we look kind of ahead in the future and we look at potential price points where we might slow down a little bit, obviously we're going to be seeing probably some resistance in the 35 to 40 range, and then we're going to probably be seeing if we can break through that, we'll be seeing resistance between 43 and 50. So if we zoom kind of back in and kind of see these potential areas, it'll be interesting to see how powerful this is and how quickly it punches through. I like the fact that we've gotten up above all moving averages at this point. That's very important. And once we get above these moving averages, once we see that cross, that's bullish structure. We just got to get above this all-time high. We break through this all-time high, and we get some price discovery. The sky's really going to be the limit. It's going to be cool. All right, let's go back here. Cool. And I'll turn that off.
So I got a question for you on that technical analysis you were doing.
Yeah.
Do you ever take like 1inch.io, the aggregator, and do you ever just like input like buys and sells just to see where it'll put you, so you can have an idea?
Yeah.
So what is that right now?
Cool.
If we look at that, it's kind of fun to say, hey, if I put in 10 million, it's going to put us to $5 or whatever. You know, like you can see how thin the books are all over the place. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, we that's a good idea. I'm going to keep hitting these questions though, just to make sure.
Yeah.
Hold on. 45 million sacks so far. Somebody said that. Where's the address? Go to Richard Hart's Twitter to get the address.
Yeah,
please do not take the address off anywhere else but the direct source.
Yeah, a couple people have been putting it in here too, but I'll refresh right now.
Pete, thank you so much for the super chat. Right now. Say again.
I'm showing just over 20 million.
Cool. Super chat $13.99. Thank you so much, man. So by having HEX, I'll get Pulse Chain 1-to-1. You will get the Pulse Chain version of HEX, which is actually the real version of HEX, 1-to-1. Okay, after the launch. And if you sacrifice ETH or HEX, you'll get 10,000 to 1 for every $1, yes, up until January 10th. If you sacrifice for PulseX, you are correct.
And after that, it bleeds out at 5%. So the
good job asking all those questions, Steve. So now you know all the answers. You're a lot better off. Well, you've helped a lot of people in this chat too, so thank you for that.
It's just over 20 million sacrifice. We've got just over 15 million of it's been HEX. So that much HEX has been basically removed. So that's 45, almost 46 million HEX have been sacrificed.
That's impressive.
Yeah. And the next one's been DAI stablecoin, then USDC. So about 3 million in DAI stablecoin, about 1.6 million in USDC, and then Tether about 350,000, and then Shiba Inu about $15,000 worth.
Cool. No, that's good info.
So
Brandon,
so much Shiba. It's like
you're an absolute rock star. Love your work so much, bro. If I'm a rock star, then your mom's a groupie. Thank you for that compliment. All right. Is Richard blue check verified on Twitter? No, I don't think he is.
It's ridiculous.
Pretty sure he's not. Yeah, I think that we're trying to make a push to get him that way. All right. Looking through still, checking out these questions that you guys might have. Okay. Pete Stave, no, you'll get a copy of HEX on Pulse, right? So just for the purposes, we're not going to use the proper nomenclature yet. You have eHEX. Everybody has eHEX right now. If you have staked eHEX, you're going to get a copy of those stakes on Pulse. And we'll just say those are going to be Pulse PHEX. We'll call them HEX eventually, but for now, PHEX. If you have Liquid, you're going to get a copy of Liquid HEX on the Pulse network. And then if you have any ERC20 token that you're holding in your wallet at the time of fork, you will also receive Pulse copies of those as well. All right. So Pulse sacrifice was earlier in the year. The sacrifice for PulseX, correct. You'll get 10,000 points for every $1 equivalent of ETH or HEX or any other that you sacrifice. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, checking. You threw your entire amount. You won't get Pulse Chain. Yeah. So the chat's just kind of correcting that. We talked about that already.
Well, yeah, the only Pulse tokens you'll get 10,000 Pulse for every Ethereum you have in your wallet. Airdropped. But those will go away, right? If you don't move them, right? I don't remember what Richard said on that.
No, they're not going to go away now. They're hyperinflated by like 1,000,000%. So they're already jacked up. So no, that's not going to happen. You don't get any pulse tokens for owning HEX. That is correct. You get no pulse tokens for owning HEX. If you had sacrificed previously, um, you would have gotten pulse tokens airdropped, but that is not the case now if you didn't sacrifice. In this case, you will sacrifice to PulseX and you will get PulseX points potentially. 19
Oh,
million
only
in the
one. I
stake.
got you.
Yeah, I think the Harvester bot will pull those copies. Yeah. You only get one pulse chain per ETH, not 10,000. Correct. Correct.
So, what are your thoughts, Brandon? Do you think that initially, and this, I kind of think that initially we're going to see a much greater pump with Pulse X than Pulse? How do you feel about that?
I was thinking about that today, but you got to understand they're kind of pretty tightly correlated, right?
Related?
Yeah, because I think that a lot of people initially are going to they're going to want to purchase Pulse, and where are they going to swap their hex and where they're going to swap their pairs from and their ETH and all. They're going to use that with PulseX, the PulseX decks. So I think that initially, if we don't have a massive amount of dumpers, which I don't think we're going to, I think that our community has been conditioned not to dump. But I think that you're going to see very similar price charts initially in terms of ROI. I really do.
I think I don't know what the burn is for Pulse for the validator burn, but I know you have the 21% for Pulse X, and I mean there's going to be a huge number. Excuse me, guys, a huge number of people that are just going to dump their ERC20s. I mean it's a free airdrop, so if they're going to be transacting on Pulse X. So when they do that, that's a 21% burn. I don't know what the validator burn is for Pulse.
We have such a big supply. I don't, in terms of Pulse, we have such a large supply. Um, I don't think initially that we're going to see major impacts of those burns on price. I don't think so. Not like we're going to see impacts on PulseX. I don't think so initially. I could be wrong. There are
Yeah,
folks that know a little bit more about it, but that's just my thought.
gotcha.
Looks like folks are already early in staking. Time to get them
Are they
bonus hex.
really?
Yeah, this is such a cool little experiment, man. There's so many different ideas floating around. It'll be very interesting to see how the market aligns here. All
So
right.
on Hex Daily Stats, yeah, right now for the new period, you've already had 2.1 million hex in penalties. And then in the last day period, because it closed down at 1900 Eastern Standard Time, in the last period, there was, gosh, what was the penalties in the last one? It was pretty high. Find it here.
Quite a bit. Are you sacrificing PulseX, Regs Riches? Yes, I am sacrificing for PulseX. Top Hat, how does he not know? What are you referring to? Um, bu- 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 let's see here. EHEX, PHEX, Pulse Chain, PulseX, LP token. LP token will come into play. It's not around quite yet. This is going to be the governance token. What is the difference between the ICO price and the price we pay when we sack? We don't know yet. Everything
I don't
starts at
know.
zero.
Yeah, yeah.
So the first bid after that, it'll determine what people are willing to pay for Pulse or PulseX for that matter. If you want to make additional sacks at a different time. All right, what does this say? Yeah, this is a good question. If you want to make additional sacrifices at different times, do they accumulate in the same sacrifice address? Yes, they do. If you sacrifice from the same address, no matter if it's now, no matter if it's before January 10th, or no matter if it's all the way out to February 22nd, um, that sacrifice money, points will be assigned to that same wallet.
Yeah, it's from the same address. Unless if you switch addresses and you'll have it on a different,
Right.
different thing.
Richard Hart was on his best behavior during the interview last night. I think it was his best performance yet. He kept the bragging to a minimum. Still gross, but a huge improvement. I think that had a lot to do with Kevin, man. I give Kevin a lot of credit.
Yeah, yep.
I give him a lot of credit because
I
you
like
pissed.
when Richard was like, "They told me to be humble, but I guess I didn't do that." But I mean, he was on.
Didn't he? I think he said your people told me to, or like the
Yeah,
green
yeah,
room.
yeah, yeah. He did. He said, "Your
Your
people told
people
me."
told me to be humble. I guess blah, blah, blah. Started laughing. Do you expect gas fees to drop or increase tomorrow? Tomorrow?
Let me pull my crystal ball out. Wait, give me 1 second here.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man.
I
I
mean, you're
think that
down. It's
once people,
179 Glee right now, so you're paying that's 1371 for a base transfer.
yeah,
I mean, that's
we are
expensive.
in bullish territory right now, though, folks. Hex is moving. It's moving. It's moving. Am I sacrificing today or am I waiting for the website? Um, yeah. So I'm not going to tell you guys what I'm going to do. I'll tell you some of my strategies. I will say that I might stagger in. I might stagger in to see if Hex is pumping hard. Why would I? I might not want to sacrifice if
Like
Hex is
like we
pumping
just
hard.
talked about, that's when I came on. I mean, I've sacrificed 15,000 hex so far. I plan on sacrificing about 200,000. I'm gonna scale in, like he's saying, stagger in, scale in, because I'm hoping. So when I sacrificed, the price was just over 34 cents. I'm hoping hex goes to $5 for crime, and I'll sacrifice the same amount. I'll just get me more pulse.
Yeah, I think
And
2022 is going to be massive for Hex. Every single indicator points to that. Um, for sure. All right, let's check it out. Simon V says, I don't know what any of this means, but I know this. The only way out is to all in. He's aping in,
words of
man. He's
wisdom right
aping.
there, man.
Dude, you got to learn, though, man. You can't just trust. Trust, you got to learn. You got to learn on your own. You'll be much more powerful that way. All right, let's see here. Okay, another six. What this say? Sorry, another six payout per T share confirmed for the day. Wow, it's moving.
Yeah, there was about, it was over 10 million in penalties for the day. And then in the new day coming up right now, there's already penalties because, like Brandon said earlier, people are already emergency in staking. It's over six right now. The payout for the next days, there's been 2.1 million in penalties already, just in the past less than an hour.
Yeah, people are betting that if they early in stake, um, the money that they get from early in stake is going to multiply more if they sacrifice.
They're
They'll
hoping,
get
but
higher
remember,
ROI.
so it's going to have to multiply more than EHEX and
Right.
PHEX. I mean, so I don't know. I'm not like, I bought additional hex for sacrifice. I do not want to. I would never emergency stake anything.
We've got $20.8 billion staked in Hex right now. We have 73,400 stakers. Estimated APY 38.45% across all. And the staking duration has hit 6 years. That's awesome. In the past 24 hours, we had 13 million sold. We had 14.5 million worth purchased. We had 444 new stakes totaling 246 million. And we had 310 ended totaling 282 million. Yeah, a lot of these folks in the first 2 years, we're kind of just getting rid of those people that were going to end stake and take, they're going to take profit. They've been waiting. They've been delaying their gratification for 2 years. They're going to do that. So once those people go away, then price has the okay to start moving back up. We've got
I
a
mean,
lot of
you
activity.
think about it, ladies and gentlemen. Think about if you get $1 million, a couple $1 million worth of volume coming into Hex, and the price starts going nuts. I mean, 10, 20%, whatever. You've seen this thing pump. We saw it months ago on the way up to 55 cents, whatever we hit. So right now, all this stuff being sacrificed and people that are buying and sacrificing, I mean, it's up. You have 21 million in total volume that's been sacrificed, and just Hex, I think it's 15 or 16 million. That's the number one. So if it keeps that trend, we're going a lot higher.
Yeah,
I
and they
feel.
make this is the kind of point that I was making for probably the past couple weeks here. I'll be damned if I give up my T share on Ethan for Pulse. Yeah. Like you early in stake, you're giving up your T shares, and the T shares is the money, guys. If you don't know why, then
Yep.
then learn a lot about Hex. There's a lot of videos out there. I've got some videos out there, but just learn about
Almost
what you're investing in.
47 million Hex sacrifice. 47 million so far.
Yeah. It's only going to go up. It's only going to go up. All right, folks. Let's see. Let's check this real quick. Let's check price. Yep, we are inching back up to almost 34 cents. That's good. We're at 33.9. So we're moving. Um, Does anybody know what the cutoff is for the daily pool?
Is he talking about the contract? I know it's 1900 Eastern Standard Time for the new
Yeah,
switch
I think
over.
it is. And folks, I've got to bring this person on. It looks like just maybe a regular fan potentially. It looks like he might be half clothed, and he has a baseball cap on at least. We'll go ahead and bring him in. And ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to announce the man, the myth, the legend.
What is up?
Is that Crypto Heartbeat?
Oh,
Yeah.
It is. It is.
Crypto Heartbeat. This is Funding Jim. Guys, this is not Funding Jim. 100% not him.
Jim.
This is
This
our
is
good buddy.
a man from Amsterdam.
Yeah.
Oh yes,
Red
you've
light.
been there. I was talking about Antwerp, Belgium.
Nice. Hey,
So what do you
I just
think,
want to let
man?
you know, K4K's got more viewers than you do.
Oh, I know.
And you need to go
love
over there
that
and
for
tell
him.
him he's taking your viewers, and you need to, smack down on him.
No, dude, I'm happy for him. I want everybody to learn.
I'm teasing. People are excited, man. There's so many people that are on all these streams. You guys are doing great.
The thing that I like about it seems like the message is good across the board. Like everybody, just chill. We're good. Don't you don't have a bunch of influencers just trying to pump price. We care about you guys. Just relax. We're good. We're good.
Yeah. What do you think about this
excited.
47?
Heartbeat, you said you're going to be talking to Richard Hart. I mean, I love watching your stuff. You're so thoughtful. Your thoughts are really good. I'm excited to hear you. You can really get Richard Hart's brilliance out. I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, I think, it's I just want to ask him questions that I haven't heard him answer before. And I think the more the audience that I appeal to, which is women over 70, is that they would be attracted to Richard in a new way. And that's my goal.
You're going to pull that out of him.
I am. All
right.
The geriatric
what do you think,
crowd.
Man? What do you think about all this? Were you expecting this?
He said after the sack goes out, I would way rather Richard focus on getting the pulse chain out than talking to me. But the fact that he responded and agreed to something it's a good step, and it's a goal of mine. But I respect him, and he's not gaining followers really by talking to me. So I just appreciate the acknowledgement, to be honest with you.
Awesome, man. Yeah. So we've got a lot of activity, man, all over Twitter right now. We've got activity on the price charts. People are happy about that. We've had really, really, really good questions in here. People have been begging me to know your whereabouts, and here you are. Looks like you spent a little bit more time at the office today, maybe.
I got up real early. I think I woke up at 3 and couldn't get back to sleep. And then I, eventually went into the office and did that stream this morning, which was awesome. More, it's cool to do things in the morning because you get all the folks from Europe.
Yeah.
And it was cool. I'm kind of branching out into other continents, Brandon.
Dude, I've been hitting Australia at about 2 a.m. the past couple nights.
Hey, I got a lot of Australian guys and a lot of, I think, Philippines and Australia. There's people that
it's huge.
comment on my channel.
Yeah.
Right,
hey, I got a question for you, Brandon.
Yeah.
I got a quiz question for you.
Yeah.
Tell me whether you think the sacrifice total amount before the OA will be more or less than Pulse.
More.
Really?
That was my first question.
Wow.
Man,
what do you think?
I called it. I put it on Twitter before, but now it's reinforced because we have such a longer sacrifice phase as well.
So what do you think? What do you think it'll come in at? Do you think it'll hit $1 billion?
I think we'll hit well, if you heard Richard's stream last night, he said that the OA could potentially put in about like 300 million.
Okay.
I think he said that. So I was kind of surprised to hear that, but I think that we're going to see, I think that we'll see 800 million potentially. What, we had 600, 700 last time?
Yeah, 670.
Yeah. So I think we can see above that. I really do.
Wow.
Wait, the OA put in like 13 billion, right? On the last one?
Yeah. Without the OA, it was 670.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about
before the OA.
Yeah, on the last day. So, and there's indications that it's going to happen. The same thing's going to happen. They're going to come in and snatch up all that supply. So
That's
yeah,
great. That's
yeah,
great.
it is great. It is great. So what do you think?
No, I agree. I agree. I
Yeah,
think there's so much more interest, and things are growing. That interview last night with Meet Kevin was one of Richard's best ever,
I'm glad you agree
and
with that.
I
We
agree.
said the same
Yep.
thing. I don't know the hate. What's up with the hate about it?
yeah, I mean, they're going to be haters all the time, but I really felt like, we're in this phase where Richard has proven himself. I mean, all you have to do is look at the chart. That's it. I mean, just look at the chart. People that scam you, they tell you one thing and they do another. Richard has told you one thing and has done that one thing consistently. And the proof is in all of the gains that people have seen in the chart. So it's kind of like, say what you want, but at the end of the day, here's
Well,
the
and
information.
Richard, he really kind of clarified his vision. I mean, what he
Yeah.
wants. I mean, he's a billionaire. He talks about the vertical. He wants it all. He wants the best performing thing, totally vertical, to have everything going. I've had people, and maybe you've had the same, just since that interview yesterday, I've had multiple people reach out to me, both email, Twitter, all over the place. They were like, whoa, like now I get it. Like that interview, they weren't Richard Hart, they weren't Hexkins, they weren't anything. They were totally coming from somewhere else that really
Yeah.
made it click for them.
What's funny is I think it's a lot. I hate to use this reference, but it's kind of like Trump supporters. People might not say they'll vote for him, but boy, when they're alone by themselves, they pull the switch. So I have a feeling that there's a lot of people like that.
How could these influencers look at these price charts and not be like, I better get in on this? Of course they are.
Yeah.
It's going to take some real
sacrifice. Especially sacrifice.
Yeah, and I give a lot of credit to that guy last night. He gave him a huge platform, and he knows it's a huge platform that he gave Richard.
Yeah.
So I was happy about that.
Totally agree. Hey guys, I just wanted to say hi. I obviously am not prepared to stick around, but you guys are doing awesome. It's an exciting time, guys. I feel the energy. So thanks for doing what you're doing.
Thank you, buddy. You be good now.
All right, and soak up that red light, man. It's good for you.
Disinfection.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. Nighttime, and
that's right.
Trying to
bring on the red light, baby. All right, see you guys.
Be good, man.
Bye.
See ya.
All right, dude? Are we the only people on right now? Maybe not. All right, yeah. So those who missed out on the PulseX will go. There's going to be FOMO, man. There's a lot of people that heard about PulseX and it was too late, or Pulse rather, and now here they are. Even Hexagons, they said, "Man, I should have sacrificed more for Pulse," and I don't think they're going to make that same mistake twice.
I was in that boat. I was in the middle of the ocean, man. I didn't even. I got on land and I'm like, "Whoa, what is this?" And I mean, I was out for months, and then I threw a couple grand in there. I just, at the end, I missed it.
Yeah. So we've got the FOMO portion. We've got more people in the community now than we did even 6 months ago. So there's growth there. We've got the part where we're going to have a longer burn. So there's going to be more opportunity for people to get in. And we've got a great community to pull it all together. So I think more money is going to be sacrificed. I do think. Yep. If you guys are new to this, please do not like, comment, or subscribe. It's very, very important. You just make my life harder when you do that. Okay.
Well, we've got K4K Crypto too. I mean, he's been putting all these great videos out and stuff. So
yeah, he's been smashing it, dude. I'm really proud of that guy. I'm proud of him, and
dude, he's got some quality stuff, man. I enjoy watching a couple of his. I was like, wow, that's really good. I liked the coffee guy. Was it Morning Coffee? He did a good one on PulseX too. I was watching that today. Crypto Coffee, yeah.
Let's see here. I just wish Richard would knock off the "I'm the best person in crypto" nonsense. We already know that. It makes people not like him who may otherwise onboard. There's probably, the guy's too smart to just do that without knowing that he's doing it. So there's a reason. Do I like it? No, I don't like it all the time. And I've made that very clear. And can I defend that behavior? I'm not going to defend that behavior. I think I know why he does it. But maybe he wants to keep people out who are offended by that type of behavior. I don't know. Maybe that's a filter. Maybe not. but it's certainly bad publicity, as evidenced by anything political here in the past 5 years is good publicity for sure.
You know, seeing Richard and seeing what you're talking about with the kind of the bravado that he brings about, I really encourage you all to read his book, his self-help book, Sci-Vive. I mean, you almost at times you go, God, is this the same person? There is so much knowledge packed in that book. And for people that have just come on, Brandon is going to be reading that. There's audiobooks. There's a HEX scan that did audiobooks on YouTube. If you just type in Sci-Vive, they did the first 4 chapters. Listen to the intro. Listen to those. That book is amazing. I mean, it is like the ultimate self-help. He combines from everything you can imagine. I mean, from some of the best people they're out there, and he even references to them. It's really Tony Robbins and Carnegie and all these just impactful people. And I mean, it's really good.
Yep, and that is true. So, what is that? So one thing that I always remember is Elon Musk in an interview. He talks about Twitter, for example, being a representation of basically a cybernetic core of the limbic system of everybody's minds. It's like one being. It's one thing. And the thing about the limbic system, that system controls the drama that you see on Twitter, right? In people's heads. So the thing about this is algorithms are pushed by controversy. And that's just the truth. 100%. I did a video on that Facebook whistleblower, and we talked about that a lot. So if there's not controversy, people aren't making money, i.e., media in general, media at large.
Yeah. Speaking of controversy, 22.5 million sacrificed so far. In the HEX sacrifice, still number one. It's all about 17, just under 17 million. So just over 50 million HEX have been sacrificed. Of course, I'm sure it's the price pumping. The price must be pumping right now.
Can you please explain PulseX points for sacrifice? 10,000 points equals how many tokens? Thank you. You do a great job of explaining what's up. Yeah, so if you sacrifice $100 worth of HEX, then for every dollar amount of that cryptocurrency, you're going to receive 10,000 PLSX points.
Yeah.
So it's going to be $1 to 10,000 all the way up until January 10th. Then after January 10th, or I'm telling January 9th, so you don't screw it up, after that point in time, it's going to decrease the amount per dollar of PLSX points that you're going to receive is going to decrease by 5% every day. To put it in perspective, 4 days ago, compared to the first 5 days of Pulse sacrifice, if you had sacrificed $1 4 days ago compared to the first 5 days of Pulse, you would have had 2,200 times less money. All right, 2,200 times less tokens, rather, or points. So it's important that you get in before January 10th, I believe.
But he said he doesn't want to make this curve as aggressive as he did for Pulse. And so you, like you said, you only had 3 days before the curve started going against you with Pulse. Now you've got from now until the 9th, you've got 10 days. So you've got a nice long period. And then you're going to have a launch. It's not going to get that crazy because then it's 5% a day until the launch will probably be, what do you think, end of February, somewhere around there?
Yeah. I would imagine that. I'm going to look and see. Let me see what K4K is doing. Maybe I can give him an avalanche of viewers right now. 351 watching. Yeah, cool. All right, guys. That is going to be it for me tonight. I'm going to go ahead and hop off here. Please pop on over to K4K and let me put the link in here so you guys have that. He's going to see his views go up by like 300, which is awesome for him. So go over there, support him. He's got a lot of good stuff to learn. If you guys have any questions for me, I'll be live streaming tomorrow too. And then we'll kind of go from there. Let me answer these last questions. What's this say? Does anyone know the cutoff for the PLS SAC was where the 1.75 multiplier was more beneficial? That was on after day 5. That was it. So here is his link, guys, if you want to go check him out. Thank you guys.
Rags, Brandon, thanks for having me, brother.
Yeah, man. Thanks for popping on. It's good to see you, man. And we'll go ahead and do what we do. We'll count it down here, and you guys have a great evening. Go check out K4K and tell him I sent you. Bye.